Hi everyone, yeah, I got some great news to share. Let's go. Hi, welcome to another episode of Gearhead Man. I'm Mark, your host, and yes, I got some awesome news. I'm doing thumbs up because we are talking about, or we'll be talking about John Force. And yeah, some great news. I heard a few days ago that he's been released from the neuro rehab, which I believe was in California, near his house, near his home, in Yorba Linda, California. And he is now home. He's been released to go home, and he's home. He's going to be, from this point on, he's going to be an outpatient program he's going to be doing. We all know, I'm hoping everyone knows that on June 23rd of this year, he was racing in Virginia, got in that horrible accident after the end of the race, because he had just crossed the finish line. When his engine blew and all hell broke loose and everything went crazy. We're going to be showing the video. And probably has everyone seen it, but I'm going to be playing it here in a couple seconds. Yeah, he hits two walls over 300 miles an hour, and it was devastating. I heard an update the other day that not only did he receive traumatic brain injury, he also fractured or broke his sternum, and I see he has a cast on his forearm here, so I really haven't found out what happened there. He must have either fractured that or broke it, with all the chaos inside the cockpit of that car when it was bouncing off the walls. That is crazy, man. Over 300 miles an hour. Wow. I know he's definitely lucky to be alive. But it's great news that, he first went from intensive care to neuro intensive care and then to a neuro rehab. And now he's home. So let's get started. Let's start that video.
Cup bluey. John Force just blew the thing up and slammed into the wall at the top end of the racetrack. Take a look at this. 302 miles an hour banging into the walls. You're going to watch Terry Haddock first puff the tire. He's going to pedal it. John's car starts moving around. And Bluey banks it off of the right wall, and then the real big hit, in my eye, looked like when he came back across. That is a big-time explosion for a guy that's had a lot of big-time explosions. Wow, he didn't even get that wall. I thought he went over and banked off one and came back for the other, but look at this thing. Traveling across the racetrack. Fortunately for Terry Haddock, he was slowed down to the point that he was out of the way, and man, that is a big-time hit into the concrete down there. Said John Force has been through some very, very wild rides in his career. And I'm going to put that one in the top 3 or 4. For a guy to go through that, no matter what his age or what kind of shape he's in, to be conscious, alert, talking to the safety personnel is incredible. I think it is a great testament to the people that build the race cars. In this case, they build them in-house at John Force Racing. The safety equipment manufacturers, the rules makers, that make it way, way, way more often than not, no matter how scary it looks.
Wow, I cringe every time I see that video, man. It's just horrible. The only good thing that came out of that heat is he won. But he's going to be out for a while. Who knows when? It's going to be a slow road. Everybody keeps saying it's a slow road to recovery with a traumatic brain injury. In my life, I'm 63 years old, and before I even reached 14, I had 2 concussions, and they're not fun, man. In my life, I've had, I think, 3 concussions total. But it's not. You shouldn't be playing around with the brain, man. That's the worst thing to get injured. It takes a long. I think one of the injuries you can receive that can probably take the longest to recover from. But we're all hopes and prayers are with John that he'll come back soon. You know, be at the track. At least be at the track. Probably gonna be a while for him to get behind the wheel of a funny car again. Probably a long while. I know finally John Force Racing did announce they're looking for a temporary driver for his car to get that back out on the track, because you know it does have sponsors and they need to be seen out there racing. So there will be another driver in his car. Hopefully that's not for a long time. You know, who knows? John is 74 years old. I don't know, he may decide just to hang up the racing gloves and take over behind the scenes. I know that would be very hard for him. He's been racing for a very long time. Like he says in his old sitcom, he's been on fire from one end of the world to another. I do have, you know, over the years, I've met him several times. Got to shake his hands. I've got a few autographs. If you look at the hat I'm wearing, when he was in Vegas this year, I was able to wrangle him down and get him to sign my hat. And that was pretty cool. Years and years ago, when I was a photographer at the Stratosphere Hotel Casino, I was an event photographer for the marketing department, and I got to cover him for the property when he came as part of a press conference for the top 5 drivers in the top 5 divisions of NHRA. They were going into the Winter Nationals, and they were the 4 or 5 that were leading their section, their division. And I was able to snap this photo. And a few years after I had this taken, I had an opportunity. My late wife and I, Dawn, we had a chance to go to his shop when he had his shop in California in Yorba Linda. He still has a facility there, but his main operations is now in Indiana. We had a chance to go to his big car show, and it usually was the first weekend in December, and we got to meet him there. My wife Dawn, she was a huge fan of John Force. She loved his show. She loved his daughters and his wife, and she thought they were a pretty cool squad. But when we were there, I had 2 copies of this photo, and I had him sign one for us. And if you see here, he made it out to Dawn. Yeah, if you can see that. Yeah. And I keep it up in my bookshelf now. But he was pretty cool to sign it and talk with us, you know. And I did have a shirt, or my Dawn had a shirt of the 3 daughters that raced, and she got all 3 to sign that shirt too. They're all cool people. They're all great people, so down to earth. And I'm just, you know, all the public in the world are praying for to keep improving and return back to NHRA if possible. At least, you know, be a force, be a literal force out at the track, even if he's not driving, you know, interacting with people and the fans and other drivers. All right. Oh, yeah. Here's a couple. I do collect some die-cast. Here's a couple die-cast that I have from him, from a couple of his cars in the past. And I have another, I think it's 125th scale car. It's on my shelf there. I think I've shown that in other videos, in other episodes. But, all right, I just wanted to share this news about John. You know, I know we're all hoping for him and praying for him and pulling for him, and waiting for the day he can appear again at a racetrack and show some of the photos I have of him. All right, that brings the end of another episode here at Gearhead Man. I hope you like what I had to say about John and the images I shared. I would love to see your comments down below. I do respond and answer all comments. I do definitely, if I don't get a chance to answer them, I do definitely read them. And give us a like, give us a share. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button. I know I've said this more than a million times. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. I'd love you to be a subscriber. The more subscribers I get, the more likes and shares and comments on my videos. All that helps with the Facebook program to help keep promoting the channel and help the channel grow. The bigger and better my channel gets, and the more it keeps growing, the more I have access to things down the road. So far this year, I'm going to be going to, I think I've already mentioned this, I'll be going to SEMA. Expect some great stuff from SEMA on my channel, and I'll be going to Mecum auction and getting some great art from there and videos from there as well. Again, thanks for watching. And we'll see everyone next episode. Everyone be careful out there and be safe.